When you lose a job, especially in a family, one of the things that happens is it reverberates through the whole family. It doesn't just affect the job loser, it affects everyone, and it affects people's relationships in the family, usually because the level of stress in the family goes up dramatically. It goes up because of the economic uncertainty, it goes up because of the hard decisions that people have to make. You see school performance deteriorate in both boys and girls. You see increases in acting out more typically in boys. You see what we call internalizing disorders occurring more often in girls, much more likelihood of depression and anxiety, for example, and relationship problems.
Harder now when somebody asks you, oh, what do your parents do? And like, well, my mom doesn't have a job anymore.
Some of you have said that your parents have talked to you about, I wish we could help you more. I think, Jessica, you said that,
My parents told me that before.
Yeah. Have any of your other parents, expressed some disappointment or, maybe apologize for the fact that they can't do everything that they had hoped to do for you?
As far as leaving for college, my mom has talked to me a lot about how they would love to help me out and love to have the money to pay for this, and they just don't have that, so I have to pay for my own education.
I think Electrolux workers were seen as some of the best factory jobs around here, and so you were in families where your parents made good money and you were kind of seen at kind of maybe upper middle class, and now a lot of you are kids of parents who are unemployed. What has that done to your mind?
I don't know. Before it closed, when my mom was working, I don't know. I knew when she was going to be home, and then dinner would be ready around 5. Now it's, I don't know, around 3:30 when she is home, so she's always emotional now. She's like ornery, so I try to stay away from her as little as possible. She's always home.
Before my mom would come home while I was at work, and I'd get home and she'd be there and she'd be helping my dad with supper, and we'd sit down and she'd talk about her day at work. And now I get up in the morning and she's there, and I come home and she's there, and she's home when I come home from work, and there's not that conversation about what she did that day or how her job was going or any of that.
So sometimes in families that are experiencing depression, you see not only elevated distress, but you see elevated alcohol use, you see deteriorating relationships, all of which, of course, reduce people's fitness to be able to re-enter the labor market. So there is a kind of vicious cycle that occurs that is very hard to reverse for some families. And those are the families that get left by the wayside.
You're a good little artist.
That's my worst car I've ever drawn.
Oh, I don't think so.
It's
hard to talk and draw sometimes. So how's it been going at home and everything?
Not too good.
How come?
Because, my mom, she had a job at Electrolux, and now she doesn't make as much money as she used to.
So what is she doing now?
She's working with my dad, but she only works on Thursdays and Fridays.
What does he do? He's somewhere in town too, right?
Yeah, he goes to work in Belding, and he's make parts for cars, I think.
Oh, okay. So did your mom ever say anything about not being able to be at Electrolux anymore?
Yeah, she gets frustrated because she doesn't make as much money as she used to, and it's like more bills, and it's like she's running out of money, and she gets real frustrated.
What does she do when she gets frustrated?
She just really doesn't know what to do. And now we have to sell our house and move out of state.
The house you live in?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we have to move out of state.
How come you guys are choosing to move out of state?
I'm not sure. It's just my parents' choice, because I guess to get more money or something.
Yeah.
So I like my house too, because it's big. We have our space for our own rooms, and yeah, it's because I've lived in that house ever since I think it was 3.
Really?
Yeah.
The important thing to remember is that the event of job loss, while it creates lots of uncertainty, is just the beginning, because it's really the cascade of other events that happen after it that create the stressors for people. we tend to move on, especially in the United States, and look for the next piece of economic growth, and some people can do that. But a lot of people are left behind, and when they're left behind with really diminished lives, and with a whole array of health problems and stresses that they didn't have beforehand. So lots of these individuals and families are trapped geographically, and they're trapped economically with a very thin and now fraying safety net.